Very good morning, one and all. I'm Abhinaya from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Shriram Engineering College. So today we're going to discuss about the concept called interface. So before getting into the topic, we just want to know why are we learning this topic. So interface we are learning for two main reasons. One thing, Java does not support multiple inheritance. So Java does not directly support multiple inheritance. So using interface concept, multiple inheritance is achieved in Java. For that is the main purpose. Second thing is to achieve partial abstraction. So what is abstraction? It shows only the essential features and hides the unnecessary details. For example, we don't want to showcase how the work happens. Instead, we just show what happens here. So two main reasons for learning interfaces: to support multiple inheritance and to achieve partial abstraction. So let's discuss with the example. So interface has two main rules. One thing, as inside interface, method must be abstract. So what is abstract? Abstract is nothing but it shows only for example, the method is just declared here and the implementation of part of the method is not declared. That is abstract. So a class must implement all the abstract methods of an interface. All variables inside interface must be of public, static and final by default. Whether you are providing it as public, static, final or not, by default it is all the variables inside your interface is public, static and final. So here is an example. Here we are just declaring the interface. This is the syntax for creating interface. Interface is the keyword and this is my interface name. Within my interface, I'm just declaring a variable a equals 10, which is of type public, static and final. It is by default. Similarly, void display. Void display, this is where we are providing abstraction. Here we are just declaring just void display, and within the implementation part within this particular display is not provided, as interface must have an abstract method. We are just giving it like this. Next is class. So in inheritance concept, we will be using extends keyword. When the child class wants to acquire the properties of the parent class, we just want to use extends keyword. But here, when a class called test class, which wants to acquire the properties of the interface called test interface, we want to use implements keyword here. That is the major difference between extends keyword and implements keyword. So here inside my class, what I'm doing is public void display. This is just mentioned here as abstract, right? So I'm just giving the implementation part only inside the class, which is implementing the interface. Next is my main class. Inside my main class, I'm just creating an object of my class and calling this particular method. Next is relationship between class and interface. So when we are using two classes, for example, a child class wants to inherit the properties of parent class, we will be using extends keyword. Similarly, when this one particular interface wants to acquire the properties of another particular interface, we'll be using extends keyword. But where we want to use implements keyword, we just want to use implements keyword only when a class wants to acquire the properties of interface. So use case of class and interface. So when are we going to use interface? We are just using interface only when we want to achieve partial abstraction or we want to achieve multiple inheritance. Other time classes can be used. Next, we can discuss multiple inheritance in Java using interface concept. So this is the structure of multiple inheritance. That is, two parent class, one child class acquires the properties from two or more parent class. Here Java does not support multiple inheritance with classes, but it supports multiple inheritance with interface. So here is my parent interfaces. Based on the parent interface, a child can implement these two interfaces. Similarly, this is first option. And second one is an interface can acquire the property from two or more interfaces. And finally, a class can derive from this particular interface using implements keyword. Here let's discuss with an example. This is my first interface called printable. This particular interface has an abstract method. Similarly, second interface called showable. It has an abstract method called show. Next, what I'm doing is third interface called display. It extends both previous two interfaces like printable and showable. So within this particular interface, I'm using void display. Next, a class called demo. It implements display. That is my third interface. So here in this particular class, what I want to do is I want to show the implementation part of previous two interfaces. That is void show, void display. So inside my main function, I'm just creating an object for my class and calling the respective functions of the interfaces. So this is how multiple inheritance is achieved. Thank you.